Rest, mariners, rest, you have braved thy last blast. Thy barks they are moored, and thy last anchors cast. No more with delight shall thy heart's pulses dance, with thoughts of beholding thy beloved France. Now in the grave of the stranger you are sleeping, and mindful of those who are far away weeping. But yet I think 'twould be hard for to die, with land full in view, and assistance so nigh. Those wild cries for help as they float in the air, those hands lifted high tell a tale of despair. Yet sailor, doomed sailor, no aid can be given. The fond ties of earth from thy heart must be riven. Then hallow the spot where the lone ones are sleeping, and pray for the mourners who in anguish are weeping. For he who was cradled in Bethlehem's manger deigned to sleep for a time in the grave of a stranger. Irvine has a strong maritime tradition, and this is reflected in the churchyard on the headstones. Many stones are carved with ships of various designs, anchors, etc. Also, the occupations recorded in the stones: shipmasters abound, captains, tide waiters, mariners, even pirates get a mention. We're going to look at 3 stones today, and one is a mass. The first one is going to be connected with the loss of 12 Irish sailors. So let's go. In John Galt's novel The Provost, in chapter 24, he mentions the many ships that were wrecked off the Ayrshire coast, causing their destruction, and he specifically 3 or 4 Irish ships. And this stone here may be connected with one of those ships that were destroyed. The ship is called the Abbess of Carrickfergus, and November 1791, it was destroyed in a storm just off Irvine Harbour. The 12 crew members were brought up here for burial. The captain of the ship was a man called William Crooks, and his brother Andrew came over from Carrickfergus and commissioned this stone in memory of his brother. And the epitaph reads, "Pray, gentle reader, drop a tear at his untimely fate. You, like him, may dread no fear or dangers you await. He that gave can take away that life that was his own, either on the briny sea or lands in frozen zone. He here lies anchored with his fleet, companions not in strife, in hopes the Saviour Christ to meet. So reader, lead your life. The obelisk to my left marks the spot where 7 French sailors are lie buried. In February 1860, a schooner called the Success of Nantes was trying to get into Irvine Harbour, caught up in a storm, and it was destroyed. The town council went down the following morning and found the bodies of 7 men. They were brought up here to be buried. The minister given the responsibility of this funeral was called William Bruce Robertson, who would become the first minister of the Trinity Church. The problem he had, he didn't know the religion of the men, and he didn't know their names. So he took the funeral himself, and he was very moved by this experience, and he penned a poem in their memory, and the poem was carved on the base of the stone, but it's no longer legible. But it went, 7 dead the sea gave to the shore, to wrap beneath the sod, till they and we shall stand before the judgment seat of God. Their names, their lives, their faith unknown, these dumb dead here arrive. But what's hid now shall then be shown, when here they stand alive. Sail on, dark coffin fleet of 7, unto the revealing day, and may we make the harbour heaven, not lost, nor cast away. This Sinclair family were a well-known harbour family. For many years they manned the Irvine Lifeboats. Probably the best known among them is David here. He died in 1913, aged 90. And he was the coxswain of several of the lifeboats. He was a character. He was described as having the body of Friar Tuck and the heart of Ivanhoe. Anyway, in 1894, the Irvine crew got a message from the Troon lifeboat telling them that there was a Norwegian ship in trouble outside Troon harbour, but they were unable to leave the harbour due to the conditions. So David Sinclair and his crew of the Busby headed to the rescue. And when they arrived at this Norwegian ship, which was called the SS Frey, they couldn't get any nearer than 20 yards. So they got a rope, threw it on the Frey, lashed it to one of the members and dragged them into the water and onto the Busby. They managed to do that another 16 times and saved the whole crew. The following April, the crew of the Busby and David Sinclair were given civic recognition for this. They were paraded through the town in the Busby, up to the townhouse, a big reception there, and there the Norwegian government presented David Sinclair with a gold medal and the crew with a silver replica of that medal, in recognition of the achievement they did in saving these Norwegian sailors. That's the Sinclair family of Irvine Harbour. Thanks for watching. Hopefully these 3 stones have brought to your attention the links Irvine has with the sea over the many centuries. This coming Marymass weekend we have another video which will be focusing on the captain of the Carters, 4 individuals who have served the Marymass loyally in their lifetimes. Thank you.